Big Brother's watching you. Look out. I feel like this is the year of the last name titles for the biopics. That new Harry Potter movie should just be called Potter. They should take the doctor off and just call it Strange. Oliver Stone directs Snowden. Snowden tells the story of Edward Snowden, an ex-CIA employee and ex-NSA contractor who leaked some secrets that the NSA had hidden away from us. The NSA was caught spying on American citizens. It's the story of how Edward Snowden leaked this information and then immediately proceeded to leave the country because he's afraid of getting arrested and tried for treason. Because technically what he committed was treason. He blew the whistle on the NSA, who was spying on the American public without telling the American public, so they were breaking the law. Snowden broke the law to tell us that they broke the law, and now we got this, oh my goodness. Now my first little about the movie is that we kind of knew the story, like Sully. This is another one of those stories that's pretty new, pretty recent, not a whole lot of breathing time between when it happened and when they made the movie. So it's sort of just a retelling of events. The NSA was doing this, and this guy blew the whistle. Ooh, but we kind of already knew the ooh part. They focused heavily on them activating a camera that you might think is off. The NSA can hack in and turn it on without you knowing, and they can spy on you. Pretty shady. Not so good in the land of the free. That's not really a good thing for a government organization to be doing. Joseph Gordon-Levitt portrays Edward Snowden, and he does a fantastic job because Joseph Gordon-Levitt always does a fantastic job. I can't really think of a Joseph Gordon-Levitt performance that was bad. He really got into this character. A lot of it was the alteration of the way that he spoke, certain mannerisms that Edward Snowden has in the interviews that we have seen with Edward Snowden. It really was quite a good embodiment of this character of Edward Snowden. Something that I thought was most fascinating about the film was his relationship with his girlfriend. What we know about Edward Snowden is he's a young guy, used to work for the CIA, was a contractor for the NSA, he leaked this footage and then he left the country. But the media never really touched on his family life or any romantic love interests or how that really works. How does it work that you just up and leave and just start a new life? I thought that portion of the film was quite interesting and not really given enough screen time. A lot of the screen time was dedicated towards communicating to the audience what the NSA was doing. It's this area we get into with biopics. We want to be truthful to the story, but it's also a movie. It's also 2 hours of entertainment. So how do we effectively tell a story while still remaining truthful to a movie that's supposed to be based on true events? In true Oliver Stone fashion, the movie is very tonally conspiracy, be afraid based. It's very like, oh my God. I think he's ramped that up in later years. The theater that we go to sometimes, they play this turn off your cell phones ad, but it features Oliver Stone. And he's like staring into a camera, grizzled as shit. Just like, we're giving away more information than you know. With this little device, with the push of a button, your life could be over. Anyway, turn off your phone because the movie's gonna start. And then there's also the disclaimer, we do not subscribe to Oliver Stone's points of view. He's very, Chicken Little, the sky is falling sometimes. He's telling the truth. I don't think people realize the amount of information that we are giving away freely every day. Like, people go and they create Facebook pages and Instagram accounts and YouTube channels. Who does that? We really are giving away a lot of info about ourselves. And that info's just floating around out there for anybody that wants to just snatch it. Like the movie Heat. Remember, this information just floats around. All you got to know is how to grab it. The reason why I think the movie hit me as mostly like, okay, I guess that's what happened. There didn't really seem to be anybody pushing back against Edward Snowden's point of view. There is a main antagonist character. His modus operandi is more like, hey man, the means justify the ends. But there's no one like vehemently telling the other side of the story. Pretty much everyone in the film agrees with Edward Snowden. Yeah, this is bad, they shouldn't be spying, this is constitutionally, this is The main antagonist of the film ends up being, as you said, the ideological argument itself. It is wrong for the NSA to infringe upon American citizens' rights, even though it's an attempt to keep the American people safe. It's preemptive. sort of Minority Report-esque. If you haven't done anything wrong yet, then you don't deserve for your rights to be taken away. This is effectively Captain America Civil War. I relate everything back to comics, as you know, and I'm gonna do it again. Because in Captain America Civil War, Iron Man says, look, we need to be kept in check. We need government oversight. This needs to be monitored. Captain America says, well, then that infringes upon the freedoms. Well, if you've got nothing to hide, then you shouldn't be worried. Well, but you're spying on me. You're infringing upon my freedoms in the first place. It's that type of a scenario. And that really wasn't examined or discussed in this film. Little qualms that I had with the film might not be truthful to the person of Edward Snowden. And so then it falls back on the argument, well, is this story interesting enough to make it into a movie? But then that falls back on the argument of, well, if that's the way it happened, then that's the way it happened. I was kind of reminded of my thoughts on the movie Sully. It's really fresh, and everyone kind of remembers it, and they don't do a whole lot of expanding. Overall, guys, I would say seeing this one in the theater, maybe not necessary. There's not really a whole lot of spectacle, special effects, things that lend themselves to being seen in a theater. Joseph Gordon-Levitt does give a fantastic performance. Overall, though, this one might be one not worth seeing in the theaters. So guys, Snowden. Did you watch the movie? What did you think about that Captain America Civil War-esque discussion? Did you think that they missed opportunities? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Please let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. And if you like this video and you want to watch me ramble about movies, you can always click right there to subscribe.
I disagreed with all of that.
Wow.
No, not all of it. I really enjoyed watching it.
Right there, a little piece of tape. Foiled. NSA, you have been foiled.
Hey, we like to walk around in our underwear and we don't like people watching, that's all.
That is private information. I definitely have pants on right now. That's 100% for sure. There's no chance that I'm not wearing pants.